scenarios, trends, and so on. Very serious stuff, but I hope we can have some fun today. So we have 4 keynotes to entertain you.
But you're all willing to step up to the plate and start creating the future together. I think that's truly inspiring.
You know, a master craftsman is only a master craftsman because they've constantly worked and tried stuff out. So you've got to build in, as Gerd said, 10% of your time in thinking about transformation.
Just because people are on Facebook or looking at social media or YouTube doesn't mean they're going to like you less. It doesn't mean they're going to ignore television just because they have Facebook. There's a bridge between the two. I think this idea of a zero-sum pie we have to put away. This pie is growing and it's going to be available to all of us.
Morning. So first let me say this, everything's going to be okay.
Because they all impressed me a lot, really. I think it was interesting with 3 different aspects on the things that we think about all the time.
And it was an exercise of listening with attention and speaking with intention. That you think is very important for us to discuss further in the afternoon. Yes?
That is, I would say, the key. But that might be
10 minutes left.
To keep the mission.
10 minutes left.
I don't think it's correct.
Could you share a tweet with us that carries your insight and your lesson learned?
Maybe I can do it even without words.
At the end of the meeting we are usually tired, but this was the last one and it was really inspiring. I never, or for years I didn't see people with so much energy after the meeting, because it was a great presentation, because you incorporated us in these discussions. We were really self-questioning ourselves about the future of public media, also about EBU in the future, because we are connected. And this was really positive, self-critical thinking and analyzing the situation in which we are now.
I think today's been really, really useful. It's very difficult when you've got lots of different broadcasters, you've got lots of different structures and lots of different funding models, dealing with different versions of similar problems. But I think they found a way that enabled us all to discuss the problems jointly and collectively and actually come up with lots of different blueprints for how you might address them. And if they can now get those onto paper and circulate them, you know, we've probably got 15, 16 different solutions to every problem, and maybe within one of those solutions I'll find something that's going to help me with my challenges. So I think the way in which they've corralled this beast of different broadcasters, different structures, different problems, and actually made something workable and actually quite good fun. Has been really, really good.
So it's not just competition from the internet, it's just not just competition from the commercial sector, but it's actually competition to reinvent yourself. And at that point, you may even ask yourself, are we the right people to do that? Do we have to fundamentally change the composition of these institutions? Certainly we have to change the way they work. They have to be much more open. They have to be much more collaborative, not just to survive, not just to protect themselves, but to invent something new, because media is changing, society is changing. So surely public service media, that also has to change.
I'm really impressed with the way you contributed, with the way you participated, with the passion, as somebody said. That's really impressive.
It's almost like your brains get fried on a day like this, right? You open your mind to all these different ideas and new thinking, and now they sit in their trains or in their cars or in their airplanes back home, and it still simmers on. Continue working on the stories that they already created. You know, I think it's going to be distributed on the website of the EBU. Pick that up and bring it back to your organization and say, well, this is what I worked on with a bunch of people back in Brussels. Now let's do that exercise with our company. Where do we end up? Where do we see the future? I think that should be a next step.